a current assignment, but don't worry, I discovered that some were seeking for the jobs. So time is coming for you. Feel at home. Feel at now. Welcome. We have little time. Actually, we have less than a week. As I talk to some of you, members, and so the work is so urgent, meaning our speed should be a bit sensitive to the kind of assignment. Otherwise, we can't lose this deal.
Good morning, Supervisor.
Good morning. How are you?
Finish this one.
No, I
There's
thought
a lot of work here.
I told you that the other works must be suspended. This one is a matter of priority. So we start where we had ended last week. Now we will go to, we had I think ended on number 13.
Yes, Supervisor.
You use all the technology available that you...
Excuse me, Mr. Lord.
Let me try.
Okay.
I think so that we really complete this assignment.
These weeks have been okay. Now the Bakatulichi finished Easter. But Siramu finished Idi. But we have another one. But 7 is that one camp meeting. Full week eating. There is no fasting. Yeah, Mary.
Hello?
Monday. That
Hello?
one. Yeah.
Hello, Joy.
Hello, who?
Hello, Joy.
Wanji?
Gatuvude kwebyo.
Hello, Joy.
Konkiwe tugumana yo. Who is Joy?
No, I'm talking.
Joy?
Madam.
First finish the madam thing.
No,
Who
I'm
is
talking
Joy?
to Joy. I'm just talking to Joy.
Who is
Joy,
Joy?
Joy.
Did you save Joy as your wife? Is Joy your wife?
Joy is a consultant who works with us on a program.
So the consultant cannot be Tom, cannot be Moses, cannot be John. It has to be Joy.
Madam.
Eh?
Honey.
Again, bitabusi.
Point, honey, where ya?
Madam Atusi.
No. Okay, madam. We were talking to...
Hey, first wait, you're even... hello?
You know,
You're even hanging...
so what we can
this
do,
man.
what
Yes,
we can
Supervisor.
do, I think, let me now call Joy.
I thought you were talking to Madame Joy.
No.
What happened?
I got a challenge, I think, accidentally.
Oh, sorry, Supervisor.
Accidentally, I talked to Mama at home.
Trouble? Trouble?
Sorry, Supervisor.
Are we safe?
Trouble.
Joy. Who has her other number?
Hey.
Anybody who has her other number, Joy?
I have her
consultant?
number, Supervisor.
Huh?
It is 0777 23 3991.
What? Read again.
0777
Yes.
23
Yes.
3991.
Off air. Any other number? Any other number? Anybody with a number for our consultant?
I don't think I'm ready for this trouble.
Eh? Askari.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss.
There is this lady, the consultant Joy.
Yes, boss.
You could check whether you have her number in the books.
Joy.
Boss, let me check my phone.
Imagine in the
Joy.
phone.
Missed call or Joy. Received call or Joy. Message Joy. Who is Joy? What is your problem?
Yes, madam. We are welcome. Madam. Hey,
Joy. Who is Joy?
boss.
Joy. Joy.
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
This one does not design in the
Rachel, what are you looking for? Rachel,
Are you called Joy?
Rachel, what are you?
Are you called Joy?
No, ma'am.
Friends, what is
No.
wrong?
What is your name?
My name, I'm called Jessica.
What is your name?
I'm called Jessica.
Where is the proof? Are you sure you're not Joy?
No, I can show you my picture.
I don't want. Does the picture have a name? Do Joy look like some people? Madam, are you called Joy?
I'm not Joy either.
What
My
is the
name is Inidi Kusasira. Do you want to prove? I have here my ID.
You bring the ID.
Nyamo, what is happening? Here.
Now,
Trouble.
my Mr. Husband called me, and he called me Joy. You serve Joy like me. You serve who like who? Hati, who is Joy? Who is Joy?
But women.
Who is Joy?
This woman is
Do you have
troublesome.
some rooms here? Where did you hide Joy? I want to know where Joy is. Where is Joy?
There's no joy in this office, madam.
I want Joy.
There's no joy in this office. I've said I'm called Enid. She's called Jessica. There's no joy in this office. Please cool
Rachel.
down.
Where is Joy?
Rachel,
Where is Joy?
don't embarrass me, Rachel.
Where
This is an office that gives us bread. You can't embarrass me,
Things
Rachel.
are family matters. We
Bread
should
has
go
nothing
home.
to do with Joy.
This is too much, Rachel. You can't look. Now, what do these people say? Think
You think
even?
I have looked yet?
No.
Bring Joy.
Now, I tried to talk to you. You couldn't. Joy is a consultant.
Madam.
Now, Askari.
Can you go and find something to do? You go. Joy.
Rachel.
Manya called Joy. If at all he's not here, you call Joy. You call Joy.
Will I get salary?
Rachel.
Hey,
Rachel.
You call Joy.
That lady. Hey.
Rachel, you go home and we settle the matter from home.
Call Joy.
Now, Joy, I
Guys, let's
told
continue
you,
working. We
Joy
have deadlines.
is a
Let us solve
consultant.
their own.
Why can't Joy be Tom? Why can't Joy? Missed call Joy. Received call Joy. WhatsApp message
look,
Joy.
stop talking. Stop
Joy.
talking. Now, look at the staff peeping through the window.
Look at our marriage as well. Hey.
Guys, this is too much. Now,
Are you
by
calling
the-
Joy? These phones of yours that you usually have, the ones which are like plots of land, don't they have airtime? Call Joy. What? Call Joy.
now, why do you
Joy!
why do you embarrass me to this level?
Supervisor, I was
You
suggesting
don't
that you
need
can
me, I
go
have
home and
mine
solve
here. You
your
call
own
this one.
issues.
No,
You
there is
call
no
this-
problem.
Madam,
Are you okay?
Madam.
There is no problem.
Madam
Actually,
advisor, are you married?
Rachel
Are
is
you married?
I'm married.
We are sorting it today. You.
Madam, it's okay. You can solve your issues outside from this office. Because
Madam,
this is an office,
I-
we
Do
don't
you want
handle
to
marriage
share-
issues.
Do you want to share his cup of suffering?
but
Over.
she's also a consultant.
She's now also a consultant.
Now what is this girl doing?
Now you know what?
Madam, can I take her out?
This is too much.
Boss, can she
You have nothing to do around the office here, but you go to your office.
Pray for me. This is too much. Lord Jesus.
I was saying,
Yes, please.
if you're not calling Joy, we are going to finish this one from home, but home is going to be too small to
No,
accommodate me.
okay,
and
better. This is enough. This is enough. This is enough.
Yes, madam.
So what is your job? You be here counting cars, counting people. You don't have something to do with your
Madam, for
life.
me, I sign and sec everyone that enters.
Why don't you go and you do something maybe like
But this is
digging,
my job.
And what is the
We
job?
dig
Counting
where
cars and
everyone,
counting people.
everywhere, dig where.
Sir.
Nonsense.
Askari.
Mr. Supervisor,
Why did you allow that consultant, another important person? How did she pass? How did she pass by? You are likely to be fired.
My boss, please, sir.
we are
Oh,
number
friends.
50.
How are you, friends? That lady is my wife, but she's also a governor of some region. She was checking on us. In fact, what you saw is not
But
take it easy.
supervisor, I think she has
So,
some
but,
mental problem. I think you need to get a counselor, or maybe you go to Utabika. I don't know. She has some mental.
There's no problem. That one is.
Are you sure?
In fact, she's even
The
my
way
wife.
how she was dressed, the way how she was banging.
That's what you have to hand
No,
every
she
morning.
was disturbed at her province.
Oh,
So,
that's
you
okay.
know, she's a governor.
The governor has to govern, Vananji.
So what we do, I think today is a long day. You have worked a lot. We will even add on an allowance.
But supervisor,
So,
you said that we need to finish today because we need to handle this report tomorrow.
Each one of you will get an allowance. But let me also say, you are careful.
Thank you for those
stick to this
news.
information. You don't say a lot that you see outside your official work. So for today, we can rest.
We
And
understand
I'll find you
totally.
tomorrow. I'll
Today
find you
can
tomorrow.
be man's day.
Thank God.
But Jethro, you are not married. You have to be careful looking for a partner.
Women are all
was
women.
Why we left this
There is
issue
no
of marriage?
difference.
Askari, you
Yes,
keep
yes, boss.
this one.
Okay, boss. Marriage.
This is too much. This is too much. Actually, I must give due discipline to Rachel. You can't embarrass a person of my caliber to this level. No. Don't even, this is not a laughing matter. You wait. This is too much. Too much.
Good afternoon, church. Education, education, education. I want us to form our discussion based on what we have watched today. Today is an education day. What aspects of education did you see in that skit? There's a last bit coming, so they can come in. As they come, I want you to watch the aspects of education that you will notice in that. Them, but the whole skit.
Sister, how are you?
I'm so fine but so hungry.
Why are you fine?
I've got something to eat.
Hii mazanga yo rude.
Is it the first time you're eating food?
I'm so hungry. Very hungry. I even need to take some water.
So for me, where is my food?
We thought you were going to cook.
Yeah?
You told us you were going to cook.
Like we thought mothers don't eat.
But they can give birth.
Yes.
I'm not surprised. You're just as stupid as your father.
We didn't know.
Can't you eat slowly?
I told you I must discipline her today. It's too much. You can't embarrass
What are you
an
feeling good about?
officer so officially and things remain the way. Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
Daddy's back. Eh? You're welcome, Daddy, home.
Thank you.
Do you know where he's coming from?
Rachel, you have been too much. Now children can bear witness. How would you abuse me in office? You abuse me at home. You abuse me everywhere below heaven.
Father, what
When
happened?
angels are watching,
Joy.
no, you cannot even hear from that confusion. I
Daddy.
told you. Now, this was too much.
Daddy, it is that joy at work.
No, this was too much.
Daddy, you're in
Because
trouble.
now, this was too much. This was too much. Rachel, it was too much. It was too much.
I am
Now,
the one who decides on what is too much. I am the one who decides on what is too much. I'm the one who decides on what is too much. I'm the one who decides on what is too much.
Daddy, what is wrong?
What?
Man, these people are going to kill each other.
Is it still too much? Or
keep
can I
away.
start now? Can I start now?
What's now? What's this now?
What is wrong with that?
No.
What is wrong with him? Isn't that Gadget coming with a chair? Bana! Mother, you're dead!
Where does education start and where does it end? I want everyone to contribute. Where do you think this workplace, this family place, where did the education need to be given? And where should it have started? Pass the microphone around. I want to hear. What have you, if you don't understand, just say what you noticed.
Okay, from what I noticed, education starts from home.
Some elaboration
Yeah, so
from what you saw?
from what I saw is in your home, before you leave home. Okay, first of all, you need to pray before you leave home with your family, so that everything can be at peace. Because you see your wife coming to your office to see the person you are calling, and you mistaken her to be another person. So you and your wife, first of all, you need to sort yourselves at home before you even go to work, to see that you are at peace before you leave the house. But when you leave the house with unfinished, you've quarreled at home, and then you leave to work, even the work you are going to do, you will not succeed, because everything you will be thinking back what you left home. Because you see, even the husband, he knew that the wife might even come to the office. So that's a small observation I've seen.
All right. Yes, somebody? There's a hand here. Okay.
Like Ellen White teaches us, education has 3 aspects: mental, spiritual, and physical. So with such setting, there's a lot lacking spiritually. You may have gone to school, you acquire all the education mentally, but then things unfold, and the true you, the true education that is in you comes out, like we've just witnessed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, there was a hand there. We will have 1, 2, 3. Margie AMOOTI, where are you? Okay.
Well, I don't know if I was able to notice well, but there seemed to be a gap in the levels of education between the husband and the wife. The wife seemed not even to understand who a supervisor or a consultant is, and for her, depending on how much she was able to process, I think she did, depending on what she knew. Also, rarely 2 people who don't really have a very big gap, I doubt a wife can really just come to office like that unless she's mentally unstable. Also, finally, there are things and issues that need to be settled home. And there needs to be a level of trust between the husband and the wife. So if your wife is able to trust you, I believe certain things cannot just come up like that.
Thank you. Somebody here? Yes?
For the side of the employers that were working with the supervisor, they did not interfere. And I think we should also take that lesson. You might now enter into other people's issues that do not concern you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Someone in front? Okay.
Me, I noticed that there was lack of spiritual life.
Lack of?
Spiritual life.
Spiritual.
Spiritual life, yes. Okay.
Okay, me, what I noticed in that kind of a family, first of all, they were not able to manage their emotions well, because leave alone that the wife came at the workplace, but also when the husband came back, he started like at the doorway to start like blaming the wife and also involving the children as well. Then secondly, what I noticed, how did the husband save the wife's number in the phone? Like instead of calling your wife, then instead of calling the consultant, now you call the wife accidentally. I don't know what happened. Was he overwhelmed by work? I honestly don't know.
All right. We have two people. One here. Okay, Doreen wants to say something so that we can continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Me, I'll be on the side of a woman. Because even though you receive something which is bad, you need to have that self-control before falling into something which can cause problems and trouble.
Thank you. Last. So many women have responded. I don't hear men saying anything. Something there. Okay.
Not very sure whether we are diverting from your question of where education begins from.
Yeah.
It all begins from home, and a mother has a very big role to play. But what we've seen with the quarrels of the mother, I don't know what kind of education can be passed over to the children and the entire family.
Thank you.
Okay, since you asked for men, so I'm also going to say something. I think it goes far from the setting of the home. It goes to studying the person you're going to spend your rest of your life with. And I see the first thing these people, if you see how the man reacted, even at home, at office and at home, is different from how the woman reacted even when she came to the office and at home. So you study someone because there are some things that are character formation and there's behavior. So if you don't understand those two and you choose a partner, you will get the same setting. So it means education does not only start from when it's husband and wife, it starts from early when you're thinking to make a family. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I want to, in summary, say this. Education is three-pronged. It is physical, it is mental, it is spiritual. Now, and every time we miss out on a small bit of education, everything suffers. Everything suffers. The family, the workplace, your religious beliefs, everything suffers. Let's go to the skit and see what happened. When the boss comes in, he sounds like a very educated project manager, all right? A very educated project manager. But because he is not educated in the many dynamics of doing work, he doesn't have the number of the boss. The people at his career office don't seem to believe in him very well. Actually, they throw orders at him because he has not taken time to educate himself on the position that God has given him in that office. So he doesn't have things in order. You go to a meeting, you prove your ignorance by not having the details. So it's possible you can be educated and of high class and all over, but you are not totally educated on responsibility at the workplace. It is this responsibility that has made us understand how he does not have it all together. Well, the wife speaks good English, okay? The wife is respected even by the gate man, which means she has a level of education. But because as a couple, they have not taken time to educate each other on boundaries, to educate each other on relationships with other people, then you find that the wife can barge in, not respect her boss's gate man, not respect her boss's workmates, you see. Someone said that a lowly educated woman is the only one who can do that. No. Going to school does not give you the education of wisdom. It may contribute, but it doesn't give you the fullness of education. Therefore, I have seen women who have PhD going to fight girlfriends of the husbands, haven't you? Are those educated? Yes, they are in the intelligent quotient, IQ only, but they are not emotionally intelligent. So they will fight workmates they don't know about, they will fight gatemen, they will mudsling their husband's name before the children. Now let's get home. Let's get home. What did we see? Children that look like they are going to school. Children that can cook or can think about when to have their meals. But they don't remember that their mother can also eat. You know? They are not educated in the skills of living with other human beings. So they will buy food, sit down and eat while their mother looks. That is a lack of education at family level and in life skills. Now, the father is emotionally unintelligent. He has not been educated on how to contain his emotions. And therefore, he will cause a war around the village, run after the children, maybe he could have landed on a wrong person. But the reason was because he has not taken time to be educated, both emotionally, mentally, physically, but more than anything, spiritually. There didn't seem to be any iota of respect in that family. So we know that the values of that family are also eroded, okay? So we don't have even respect for the family. So let me ask my co-presenter, Margie AMOOTI, where are you? I'm still calling for you. Are you in this congregation? Please come forward. Tell us what a dysfunctional family that is not educated. What are some of those characteristics that are missing out in a dysfunctional family? She's still looking. Yeah? We don't have to have a presentation. Just come through. What are some of the things that make our family dysfunctional, like the one we saw in the skit?
Hello. Happy Sabbath. Happy day. You seem too cold.
and yet she was doing very well, laboring after the skit and everything, and then you're still looking like that. You're saying, hello, happy Sabbath, church.
Happy day.
Happy day. Yes, MARGIE Tumsime is my name. And you know God has given you grace. When you start standing on the same pulpit with the professors who mentored you, but that is grace. We thank God for that. So picking from what you've asked me, the signs of a dysfunctional family, right? Yes, I'm sorry I've missed the skit, but I believe it was good. So in a dysfunctional family, there is no sense of unity. First of all, there is no empathy. There are no boundaries. Everybody can do whatever they want. A parent, because you feel you are a parent, you have all the powers. I grew up hearing this word, you know, I'm the one who gave you life, so I can kill you if I want. And that is a parent, and you feel probably you are God or something, I don't know, but you have all those powers over your children. There is nothing like, this is my limits, this is where you can go as a child, after this you can do this, nothing. The child is almost like nobody, let me say so. They are not seen anywhere, so there is no cooperation. Everybody does what they want to do. I don't know whether you've seen those families.
The woman in the skit says she's the one who says. She's the one who sets the limits. Yes. She's the one who determines what is too much. You remember what she did? Okay, that is what exactly happens in uneducated families. All those parents and husbands and wives and children go to school, but they assign themselves powers that limit the progress of their members. Yeah.
Yes, so another thing in a dysfunctional family, members are so critical of each other or one another because there is no sense of unity. So whoever, there is that struggle for power, you get? And when a husband is trying to say something, for example, and the wife is saying, like you also think you are also a man like others, you find there are those meaning comments that come, and what hurts me most usually, it is a parent who is speaking in front of a child, but speaking ill against the other parent. It is very unfair of you, and if you're here, I pray that you repent. It shouldn't happen again, ever again. It shouldn't. Try to support each other instead of being critical of each other. Yes, one partner may do something, but if this is your wife, you don't have to shout at her in front of the children because she did a mistake or probably the salt was too much. So when you do that and you have children in the house, what are you teaching them? When they grow up and they become daddy, they are also going to do the same.
Education in the family is very important. You don't have to go to school to do such. Yeah.
Yes, another thing is anger felt by one person can reservate throughout the whole household. You get angry as a wife, and so you make everybody feel that you are angry.
They have to know me today.
Yeah, you have to show that, yes, I will show you that I am the mother in this home, I am the woman in this home, I am the man in this home. You get? So you try to remind your family members that, don't you know that I am the man of this home, as if we had forgotten or we don't know something. But you make your anger so it spreads throughout, it can even reach the neighbors because you got angry at home, so even the whole village should get out of order because you did what? Because you got angry.
Thank you, Margaret. Now, I would like to ask you something. In the skit, you saw that there were a lot of values missing. A lot of values that were not being imparted in this family. They did not exist. Maybe even at the workplace, but we saw a lot of values in the family that were missing. And one of the values that I I saw that was missing was respect. Respect. The children did not seem to care about the coming of their father, about the coming of their mother, whether the mom would want something to eat. They did not have that. Another value I did not see was hard work. The children seemed, if they work, things like cooking are things the mother does, not things they do. So they buy junk and chew it because cooking is low class. Can you tell us something about values?
Yes, family values, these are values.
They are part of education, the education system within a family.
Yeah, and they really vary. They are wide according to culture, to social class, to religion, and all that. As she has said, there was no education in the skit, so I can't relate to the skit. But these family values, as we've said, they vary from family to family. There is a way your family raised you up, or there is a way your family does things. For example, at our home where I come from, we grew up with, when we have very many grandchildren at home, and when it would come to Sabbath, for example, it used to feel, by then, it used to feel like hell, but not in that sense of hell. But by the time it reaches Friday, wherever you have been, Friday evening, you must be there at, we didn't have tables, so we would sit in the compound and food is served. If you miss food at that time, no supper for you because it will be done. And if you dared let wake up by 8:30, it is Mzee who is the last person in the house and he's the one who locks. You should go there and be at church the whole time. So that was one of the values we learned, that when it comes to Sabbath like this, everybody must be on what? On attention. Sorry about the attention.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a very good value. I would also like to add that there is a value for education. Value for education. What did your parents do if you did not perform well in school? I'm seeing the older ones are being beaten. What about you, the younger ones? What happened? Were you beaten? The elders were beaten. Were they beating people in Zambia also? Okay. What happened? What happens these days? Those of you who recently finished school, what happens if you don't perform well? Yes.
If you had siblings, the siblings will be given better things, and for you will be given less. They will promise you if you perform better, you'll have more than them or the same as them.
Thank you. So they were denied privileges. What else happened? Yes? They would lecture you. Parents, what do you do these days to instill the value of hard work and education? What do you do? You have forgotten, eh? Or we don't do that anymore. We withdraw the phones, yes? You work with them. Some children are very lucky these days. Some people beat if you think the child is being careless. Yes? Anyone else? What do you do to instill the value of education and hard work? You also work hard. Because if you don't work hard, it means that your children will have no one to look up to. I see a hand the other side. Anything you do to instill the value of hard work? Yes. Deborah, yeah?
Mentorship, as well as maybe giving them examples, encouraging them to work very hard. Sometimes you do the extra lessons, but also some measures. Maybe reduce on the time for telly, take away the gadget, but linking them at least to a mentor. Maybe work so hard, you see your aunt is like this, your uncle looks like this. Don't you want to be like so and so? Please endeavor to work hard. We try and talk to them. We endeavor to talk to them.
So, thank you. Yes, Elder, yeah? Elder Laban has something to say.
I also have children. I have one who is in P6, but I'll talk of at P5. At times I wish I would assist, but at times I even don't know what I should do. You know, to be realistic, some of us even don't remember how P5 work used to go. 2, even how it goes today. In fact, for us, we were beaten by peasants. And sometimes we also need to beat, but how do you beat today? 2, is beating the final solution. And I would say that there is need for a combination, but which calls for consciousness and understanding why, and also in prayer. Because you may beat and spoil further. 2, you may again say, now it's okay, I will help you, and you don't have time. Or even you don't have the skill. You say mathematics and they say algebra 0. Now, if a child scored 2 and for you 0, now how do I assist?
Okay. So a value of, okay, Elder Tick has something to say, yeah?
For education, just like Sister Maggie said, the values vary from families to families. My background, I was raised up by peasant parents, just like elders mentioned. Sometimes they didn't even, they didn't have much to offer us as far as education is concerned. So we used to actually motivate ourselves to study. When you study well, yes, they would motivate you. Like for us, they would give us, say, if you perform well, we shall slaughter chicken and you will enjoy. They give you the best part. So that was some of our motivating factors. But they didn't actually put much emphasis because as you're going to school, they have already gone to the garden. And by the time you come back in the evening, they have not yet come back from the garden even. So it's that kind of life. Now, as far as motivating our children to be hardworking is concerned, we try to assign them some small assignments like house chores, and you supervise and make sure that they finish them. You let them get to know that a child needs to do something. There is a role they are supposed to play in the family and the smooth running of the family, rather than just sitting and then waiting for things to be brought to them. They have to participate and do at least an activity, whether it is mopping the house, doing the dishes, or even participating in simple cookings for those who are a bit older, so that they know that they have a role to play at the end of the day in the family.
Thank you. You say a lot of things in that. It's not that those who grew up with parents that were not educated in school or that were not working did not show a value for hard work. They woke up, they went to work. Then you came back and you found they have brought food home. They have school fees. They have all this. You being the hard-working person begins to instill hard work in your children. But if you are the type who comes home and hangs your feet and watch TV the whole day or watch football the whole day, they never see you being busy in doing your own things. Then the value of hard work does not sink. And involving the children in work, the young people, is a key to helping them work hard. I was with my friends after church, and we talked about sibling involvement in taking care of parents. And we realized that some siblings will get involved, while others will not be involved. Now, there is a value that we must educate each other and educate our family members, and that is the value of collaboration and teamwork. Collaboration and teamwork. Let's get educated in doing this. Families that value collaboration and teamwork encourage their children to work well with others. They encourage their children to work well with others, which can translate into strong leadership and communication skills. So when you have your children here leading teams
having to do things together, don't think it is a waste. There are parents who consistently never allow their children to do anything with other children. And you think you are protecting your children. No. You need to educate them to collaborate and work with others in teams. Even at home, give them duties together and see whether they can find a way of working together. Let's imagine your compound needs slashing and you have 2 boys at home. Tell them to think about keeping that compound slashed. All right? And buy them the necessary tools they need to keep the compound slashed. You know what they will try to say? Me, I will slash in the evening. You do yours. Or me, I will slash. You can collect the grass. That is instilling a value of teamwork, a value of collaboration. Now, we did not see that happening in this dysfunctional family that we saw, but we saw it at the workplace. 3 young people under the boss, each knew what they were supposed to be doing, meaning that these people have been schooled in the ability to work together. All right? Margie, which other value do you want others to learn, to be educated about?
The value of entrepreneurship. Given the economy we are living in, it's no longer enough for you to be schooled in school with the highest degrees. You can get a PhD, you can get a master's, and you still struggle to find a job. And you find many of us, because I have this master's, I have this bachelor's, I can't do any other thing besides what I studied. So as we are grooming our children in our homes, I would wish it better that we teach them that it's okay to make some small housework or handicraft and you sell it and you get money, so that they are not just only looking at parents, and when a parent fails or you're out of house, the next person is the boss. Once the boss has not paid you, no eating, no what, because that is the only source of income. So I would really desire that our parents teach the young ones entrepreneurship skills as a value.
In the African families, especially where I grew up, I was very good with my hands. I'm still very good with my hands. I sometimes wonder even why I did a lot. But you give me something to do with my hands, it produces a tenfold or 100-fold. If it is chicken, I'll multiply. If it is gardens, they will thrive. If it is knitting, I can knit. If it's cooking, I can cook. But most of it was killed by my professional mother, who thought if I knit, I'm going to waste my brain and I will not be number 1. So she will throw away any needle I had to knit. Do you still do that to your children? Some people do that. Your child is there doing some electrical work, and you kick it away. So encourage your children to think outside the classroom. It's very important. If you don't do that, always think about something more than just sitting and looking at a book. We have reached that level where the books are very important, yes, but you need to learn something just more than a book. Even if it is cleaning, there are people who are paid thousands of shillings for cleaning. So if your child is good at cleaning, if it is spreading beds, do it as much as possible. It's a value that you pass to your children to be entrepreneurs, not only in business, but in many other things that they are good at. I would also want to talk about the value of respect for authority. It is not degrading to be obedient and respect to authority. And the first education is respect for God. When I see here in church, it's prayer time. Some children have no idea that it is prayer time. You know, that is disrespect for unseen authority. So we start by instilling respect for authority at home. Respect to you, respect to the caregiver, respect to God when you are in the presence of God. Respect even in the way you dress up your child, in the way you dress yourself. It begins to help them. And families that place a high value on respecting authority figures, respecting God, instill in their children the importance of following rules and regulations, and their careers will thrive because they don't need a lot of supervision. These people who respect others also respect themselves in everything that they do. So they can navigate very good professional spaces because they have a respect for their own selves, respect for God, and respect for other people around them. Margie, maybe you would talk about the last value that education needs to address as people go home.
Yes, the value of responsibility, responsibility in education and all that, as we have learned, that wherever you will go, wherever you will work, whether it is your own business or whether it is at work, someone expects you to be responsible, to be accountable, even if it is only to yourself. We have people, for example, at work where I go and we find, because we have been given freedom, you come when you want, but still your boss expects you to be at work at a certain time. And because you think she's not around or he's not around, and you come in anytime you want and you leave anytime you want, and even when you were there, you use the free Wi-Fi, the office Wi-Fi to do your own stuff. So I feel it's unfair for us. It's good that we learn or we teach our children responsibility and to be accountable. One thing I do is the children I take care of. Before I add you any pocket money, I want to know how you spent the one I gave you from home. And they have picked it. They've learned. As you reach, they show you did this and this and this. This is the balance I have. And I really take it away from them. I just add, but I'm teaching them that even if money is there in abundance, you don't have to just spend because you have to be having a budget and a plan and everything like that.
When your children give you a list, or you young people, when you are going to ask for money, how do you ask for it? You go, Daddy, I need some 200,000. We have a party. And any parent will say, 200,000 party. How does that make sense? Now, if you are responsible and accountable, you break down that 200,000 and say, 50,000 I'm going to buy a shirt, 20,000 I'll buy shoes. They have told us to pay 70,000 for the dinner, and then I also need a little pocket money for an extra soda, so I have put there 5,000. Your father will be willing to give you the money. Now, some of us have the money. The child asks 100,000, and you say, only, let me add you 120, so that it becomes 120. Are we teaching accountability? No. It is a strong value that we must educate ourselves and then educate the other people. The children came home in that skit. Nobody asked them where they were coming from, where they got the money for the food, and all that. They were sitting, and the mother was like, and you think me, I'm not going to eat? We thought you were going to cook. No responsibility, no accountability. It's a value that must be educated. So education in the family begins with you, the convener of a family. Have boundaries, educate your children, and even educate yourself, because there is no end to learning. So how are you going to do this? Margie is going to give us bullet points because of time on how we are going to do this education.
Okay, to help our children or ourselves in this education, we are saying that engage your children to get as much education as possible. Not the education in school. We've said education in family values. There is a maid that we have valued in our home for long, like Today, as we talk, she earns 700,000 just because she can clean very well and she can cook. So it's not about the education in school, it's about what you are able to teach these children to do. Help them discover their innate talents and skills. Please don't put them aside, don't discourage them. Help them develop the knowledge of the world there outside, like the work. It's not going to be easy all the time. When they come and they say, my teacher was hard today, what do you say? You also tell them that teacher is bad, or you tell them sometimes people are different. Because tomorrow where you are not is going to find a boss who is very rude. And because you didn't teach this child, or you didn't learn yourself how to deal with difficult people, you're going to meander around and you start telling stories. Teach decision-making skills, or if you are old like us, please learn. Learn to make decisions and in time. But also be aware of the career opportunities around there. Don't sit and wait to only send CVs. Just find other things that you can do. So apart from that, the skit talked about the dysfunctional family. Some of us have found ourselves in these families. We are what we are today because of where we grew up from. And sometimes it's not our fault. That's how we have been raised. And we are struggling in the world to fit in with those other children or with other people who grew up from functional families. And you find you can't understand each other, or you can't even pick. Well, you wonder, why am I not like them? And they also wonder, why are you different? So it's not a crime sometimes, but we can't leave it at that. It's not your problem, but it is your responsibility to take action, to heal, and plan for the future you want. So how do you do that? Understand your family dynamics, both the past and the present. Understand what happened in your home. And some of those things have been carried on from your great-grandma to your father and to yourself. You're also passing them on to others, even without question. And yet some of them are even outdated. They no longer work, and you can't even question, why was this done here? Why was this kept here? And you just carry on. So learn to question. Understand why things were done, both then and now. Whether they are still living, try to understand. And also understand how you're doing your stuff. Determine the root cause, the root of toxic behavior. For the kids, the way the children were behaving, the way the wife, try to understand why. Don't just say this partner of mine in Atomeda, eh? Like, why are they like this? Try to understand. Maybe there is another problem you haven't discovered, and if you look at it with this interest of finding out and helping, you can actually help that person recover from whatever they are suffering from. We are also saying seek professional help to deal with either the guilt or the shame of setting new rules. Because you have been so used to a certain lifestyle, it's not easy to just break off and you start another one. Sometimes we need professional help. And that's why these counselors are here. But we just look at them and we think counseling is just talking to someone. So you can't afford to get that time, just somebody to talk to you. You would rather talk to a friend, and the friend you talk to also has another best friend, and the best friend tells another best friend, and before you know it, the whole church is aware, and you get annoyed that church has rumors, but you are the one who went to the wrong what? Person. So seek professional help. Set boundaries in family relationship. Learn yourself and also set your boundaries. Learn who you are, why you want to do what you want. Set your boundaries. There is this saying that says that you as a giver set your limits because the takers don't have any. As a person, like for us who are so much in charity and all that, you realize that the people you're going to help or to support don't have any limits. They actually don't mind coming back time and again until you tell them no. So you as a person set your own boundaries, communicate them, and let people know about that. Express your concerns, feelings, and anything. Set or develop your emotional regulation skills. Okay, we understand. You were raised in that other family, and that's why you are so hyper. You get annoyed very fast. But the world is not about you. You need to learn that, yes, this is who I am, but then I live in society with others. So try to make peace. Try to work on yourself. Don't just call everybody who talks about you toxic. You might be the toxic one. So try to work on yourself, regulate your emotions, learn where you are touched and you go off. And I want to say lastly, practice self-care. A lot has happened. We understand, we sympathize, but we also want to empathize. You take care of yourself. Take time. One thing that Mrs. MATOYA has taught me is I am worthy every other good thing that any other person can get. And it has really been a very hard lesson for me to learn because all my growing up, I knew others come first. So I am the last one. You are the girl, you are the one who eats last, you are the one who serves others, everything. So I've been just like that. Others can take everything and I'll come last. If I don't get it, it's okay. And she has been telling me, no, that's not how things work. You need to serve yourself first, love yourself, take care of yourself. Whatever you can give another person, you can give it to yourself. And you also can learn that, right?
Thank you very much, Margie. I want to thank God for this afternoon. So I'm going to ask Elder Algembe, our head elder, to comment and pray for us.
Thank you. I think mine is a comment that when we learn some of these things, we need to apply them not only in our homes but also at church. There's something that bothers me in this church where we eat food. After eating, we put the plates there and we get adults to start collecting the plates, carry these plates from here up to down. Actually, I even started this way. Tables are set. You look for people who can carry plates from the kitchen to the tables here, and you can't find them. You know? But you have kids. I don't know whether in our homes it is us adults who look for the empty plates and put them on the dining, or it's the children. Even when you finish eating, who takes away those plates? Now, how different is it from church? Today, I talked to Brother Agaba. He's there. I told him, please, Nicholas, I don't want to see you carrying plates, dirty plates from here to the kitchen. In my view, we need to help these young people. Otherwise, we might teach them to think it is okay for adults to carry their plates. They are finished using and then they carry them down. You know? It really bothers me. It really bothers me, and wonder how we are molding these young people to become adults in the future if we are not bold enough to tell them to do the right things. I see them when they are lining, some are very patient, you know, and they are literally fighting for food. Now, if you can fight for food at church, what will happen when they go to school? What will happen when they go to school? What will happen on a certain function out there when there isn't enough? You know, it will be chaos. So my thinking is, let's help ourselves, not only in our homes, but also at church. Because some of these kids, like she mentioned, we come from different backgrounds. We're brought up differently. But you should have a standard as a church that this is how things are going to be done here. If in your home, kids do not carry plates, at church, they must carry them. Okay? So we agree that carrying plates from the kitchen to the tables is work for children. We only need to mobilize them and then tell them, guys, go down, pick plates and put them on these tables. Food might be a little bit heavier, but we also look for these ones, these young ones here. The young ones, and look for them to come and carry food and put it on the table. You know, you are teaching them. The young ones are saying, okay, my elder brother, who is in 17, 18, is carrying the food. For me, I'm carrying plates. You know, it comes to serving food. It is wrong. If you are girls here of 15, 20, for you to go on the line to be served when you have your mother standing and serving, it is wrong. We can as well agree it is this age of the youth that are going to serve food. You know, And also agree that, yes, we have centers for children. Let them go and serve there. We now have also our senior mothers, fathers. Please give them a chance to go and serve, and they eat. Honestly, for me, these afternoon programs will be useless if we don't do some of the things, or if we don't implement some of the things right at church. Any objection to that? Now, our chief elder, rather a deacon, please, can you mobilize ourselves in that manner, so that people get to know. First of all, we educate adults that also when you finish eating, don't put the plate under the chair. No, it is wrong. It's bad manners. Finish eating, have the courtesy, take it to the collection center. And then these kids also, again, we don't make our kids to be like they're picking rubbish. You know the schools, you remember those days? They'll tell you now time for pick rubbish from the compound. You all line up and you start picking. We also need to be organized. You finish eating, you go to the table, put the plate there. Okay? And then we tell the kids, please carry these plates down. Otherwise, we are losing out. And you're training a generation that they are going to be here. In a couple of years, they are the ones that are going to be standing here teaching us what Mrs. MATOYA is teaching. Let us all start. Any other comment? Yes, I don't know. Let me give the lady behind there. Yes.
Thank you so much, Elder. What I was suggesting to handle that, I think we should have groups of children, like we put them in numbers so that every Sabbath there is a group serving, there is a group carrying the plates, there is a group doing this. They come from their homes knowing that they are going to do this at church. When church is over, they know that they are supposed to run to the kitchen. They also introduce the aprons and maybe the caps for them to put on their heads.
I think that's being practical. Brother Nicholas, are you picking? Yes, Ivan. Let me give Ivan first.
Thank you very much. You have said something about the things we do at church. I'm going to bring it from the perspective of choosing a mate. Now, in my days, I was watching what girls used to do at church and then wondering how they would behave in their homes. If they said we are, for example, cleaning chairs, and I see you're not doing anything, you're just seated there being beautiful, I would just cross you out because I am projecting this is how you'll behave tomorrow. So when we are doing things, please don't just sit, others are watching.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's a real point. Ladies, it's a real point. It's a real point. People are watching what we do on a daily. On a daily. Yes, somebody is watching what you are doing. Also the men, I can also tell you, also when you pick that food and you heap the plate, somebody is also doing what? Watching. So not only the ladies, but all of us. All of us, even myself, when I finish eating, I'm conscious where I take my plate. Because a kid can embarrass you. Say, but elder, you can't do this. How would you feel? So I'm conscious that I cannot do it because I know it is wrong. Yes, elder.
Thank you so much, elder, for bringing it up. I was thinking that since we have these tables set according to our FSG, I think it would be quicker and easier to implement it at that level. Let us see which FSG has unruly children. Thank you.
Well, I think we don't have any unruly kids. We only need to help them get better. I know they are willing to do it as long as you tell them what to do. Yes, elder.
Mine is not very specific. I thank God that we can reach this level of discussion openly. I also say that we still have several areas of need for education and learning. He is specifically talking about the food. And I encourage now that we, as leaders, sometimes we assume people know. Some of these things, we take them for granted. And as she said, some, because of the different backgrounds, are actually ignorant. We condemn them just for no good reason. So these kinds of what you see today is an empowerment. And thank God that we are beginning. This is not the end. We still have other areas of concern like communication. Sometimes somebody feels wherever he goes to communicate, people hate him instead of welcoming him. Sometimes somebody goes up here at the pulpit and people say, was there Holy Spirit or another spirit? Have you ever heard this? People say, no. People did not worship because of somebody's presentation. And yet he tried the best she can. So we still have many areas and pray that we work together to identify. Unfortunately, I sent in a list of where you think we should work together. I designed that questionnaire with the first elder. I only received 2 responses from 2 people, meaning we are even guessing to say, let's begin on what? But it is not yet late. In case you think there are areas where we can discuss, God is still alive. We still have many resourceful persons. Elder, would you employ somebody that just leaves plates where he has eaten from?
Impossible.
No. We have employers here. We have people in big offices who you just present and he takes you for a job he had not planned for. But some of us are saying, now we are at this. Now, is it out on the street? Doing what? Seeking for jobs. What job? Anything. How do you do anything? So, Elder, thank you that people are listening. You can tell us where else we can now start thinking about. But on the side of leadership, like on this food, let us also design, and if any one of you is reached for a strategy of improving our system, please be obedient and we work together and we counsel each other where we are not very fine, then we move as a team, as children of God.
Thank you. Thank you, Elder. Any other comment before we close? Yes, Mrs. Atik.
Thank you so much, Elder. So you have been talking about the children taking the plates. It is good. But I don't know how I can talk about it because as we big people, we eat and then leave the plate where? On the chairs. At least all of us, we are normal and we are understanding. After eating, at least get your plate and take it where? On the table where the children can pick it. But when I came here in the evening to sit, I just found a plate on the chair. Then I said, how can a person eat and then leave this plate here? And then he manages to get the bag and then leaves the what? The place. So I had to pick the plate, I take it out. But it is just common sense because that's what we saw in the plate. If you are educated and you don't have common sense, it is also bad. Let us eat, pick a plate, take it on the table if you cannot put it down there.
I agree. Yes, Sister Ngodi.
Thank you, everyone. As one that likes serving, I think there's a bit of an improvement.
Yes.
Especially amongst the youth. During the holidays, they were very, very active. And then we have the younger girls that are also helping in serving. We need to commend that.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. If that is happening, very good, very good. But we need to see different faces. I believe there are common faces that I see on the tables. Also those not are maids. For us, they are the ones who are going to work every Sabbath. We want to see many more involved. Thank you very much. I think we've come to the end of our program. I want to thank you, Elder, for your time. Organizing that skit, first of all, it takes time to think through what you want to communicate and then being able to get the right people to work with. So I really want to thank you, and and your team, and pray that we'll have many more. You've requested this year is going to be one of the ministries, drama. Drama is a ministry, and he really wants many who have that art and talent to join, so that we have many more such events in our church. So thank you so much, Elder. Thank you so much, Mrs. MATOYA and Margaret, for sharing your experiences. But for me to conclude and say, all these would be important and relevant if we implement them in our homes, at our workplace, and at church. May God bless you all. As we conclude this afternoon or this evening, I want to invite you to stand up for a word of prayer, and then we'll leave. Let's pray. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we want to say thank you for giving us an opportunity to worship you on your Holy Sabbath. We want to thank you for the program of the day, from morning up to this hour. Father, many activities have taken place, but Father, I want to pray that whatever I've learned, whatever I've heard, will make an impact in our lives and make us better people. I want to thank you for the Department of Education who have led us throughout this Sabbath, for the time they put in, for the people who've been involved. Father, I want to thank you and pray that you bless them all. But above all, Father, I want to pray that whatever they've shared with us will have an impact in our lives to serve you better, to serve our communities, to be a living testimonies where we stay, and people will definitely know that we are different and will definitely come closer to you. Time has come for us to live and prepare for a new week. We commit it into thy hand that, Father, bless us in whatever plans we have for the week to come. Bless the work that you've given us to do. And those that don't have, Father, provide for them out of your mercy and grace, that you keep us safe with our families, where we live, until when we meet to fellowship again. We pray this believing and trusting in Jesus' name.